Hi and welcome to the 5th episode in our Meridian series. Today we are focusing on the stomach meridian. We have a short practice today and all of our positions today, or our poses, include a bolster if you have one and a pillow if you don't. So we're going to grab the firmest pillow we have or a bolster if we have one. We are going to prop our pillow gently at the top of our mat. We're going to lower ourselves forwards and down. The chest should lay just on top of the bolster. The arms come out in front, and this allows us to relax down into Sphinx without having to press into the arms, keeping that yang energy in the upper body, and instead we can completely melt down throughout the entire body, whilst allowing that gentle compression through the lumbar spine, a complete relaxation through the shoulders. Just allow yourself to soften into it. When we allow this pose to be more restorative by using the bolster, bringing the ground up to us, allowing the body to be held, allowing ourselves to melt into gravity in a more supported way, it can mean that we actually go a little bit deeper than we would if we were monitoring it using our arms, creating that yang energy, propping ourselves up, controlling how far we go. Because when we feel supported, we often feel a little bit more comfortable to be vulnerable, to surrender down, to be soft. When there's no resistance from the body to gravity, the pose starts to feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more enjoyable. And therefore it becomes easier to soften in and melt in. Embrace the stillness. We observe the slow breath moving in and out of the body. The slowness and stillness of the practice can feel a little bit intense at the beginning. The slowness of movement, the stillness of the body, the silence, all of these can feel extremely loud, extremely uncomfortable. But just like the sensations of the pose, often that dissipation, the ebbing and flowing of intensity leads you into quite an enjoyable place, a space where you are yin, or a bit more zen, and therefore that silence and stillness begins to feel more enjoyable, more aligned, more nourishing and nurturing. When you're ready, we gently push ourselves up. We are going to spin our bolster around and draw it towards us. We draw the knees either side and we melt forwards and down into our child's pose. This is a lovely restorative child's pose. Allow yourself to breathe and melt. There should be no tension in your body here. When we practice yin, we focus mostly on the body at first. We observe where we're at within our energy, within our mind, within our emotional body. But most of our focus is simply on the relaxation of the body, the physical. Softening, slowing and stilling what we can control, and the rest will just follow in your own time. We place no pressure on when we arrive there, how it should feel, how emotions should be, We don't control anything. We just allow ourselves to sink more and more into the energy of surrender, allowing. And naturally we begin to align more with that yin energy as we do so. Counter poses allow us to not only reset the body a little bit, focusing on the muscles and the joints, but we're also mostly focusing on the meridian system in these counter poses, where we might have been deeply stretching, compressing, stimulating in the pose itself. In the counter pose we come into, we allow this surge of energy through that area. When you're ready, we move the bolster subtly forwards and we draw the knees as wide as you feel comfortable to, so that from a bird's eye view they would be aligned with your hip joint. Your shins can be parallel to the wall by your side and your feet can be slightly flexed. Now this is a full frog. If this feels far too much for you, then that is absolutely understandable and fine. Instead, you could bring your knees forwards and your feet together for more of a down-facing hero. You're still going to get that lovely deep hip opening, which targets our stomach meridian. Wherever you feel more comfortable today, allow yourself to ensure that you are being kind to your body. In yin, we always want to tap into compassion and discipline in equal measure. We're never shying away from our edge and our body's ability. But we're not pushing ourselves past that point of comfort either. We're finding that in between. And just meeting ourselves there. Breathing through the sensations that arrive, potentially the emotions that arrive. Sometimes when we tap into these areas of physical tension, we begin to release emotions, thoughts that we hold in that area. Each time you find your mind beginning to wander, we draw our awareness back to the physical. We observe if we are holding tension in the hips, resisting the pose or resisting gravity. In the shoulders, in the face, softening down from the crown down to the toes. You might find that as you melt down physically, as you soften the muscles, the pose actually feels easier, less intense. It's thought that it's the resistance to the pose that can create that tension and intensity. Similarly, it's often our resistance to specific thoughts, our rejection of them or our pulling them in, that can make them feel uncomfortable. So we try and allow that same passive nature, that same allowing or surrendering essence that we have physically when we begin to observe the mind wandering as well. Observe if you notice any deepening physically as you exhale. often those exhales create a release, not just for the body but also for the mind. When you're feeling ready, slowly making your way up, drawing yourself onto your back. We're going to have the bolster nearby. We're just going to take a counter pose for one moment by drawing the knees together and the feet wide. Just allowing this internal rotation in the hips. Your legs should probably feel very heavy here. Observe how your lower back feels, how your pelvis feels, how the root chakra feels. Just observe all of the physical body, but also the energetic body. You might notice through the center of your core, sensation of flowing, or the heart beating. It might feel like movement, like warmth or coolness. You might feel this through the front of the hips leading down, through the inner thighs. If you need to stay here for a little bit longer, then we can. If not, we're coming into our final pose. We're going to grab our bolster, shimmy it round, draw your sit bones up to the base of the bolster. The soles of the feet come together. And we slowly lower the spine along the length of the bolster. Take your time in finding your perfect position here. You could draw your arms wide for a little bit of focus on the heart meridian as well, or you could draw your arms back for a little bit more focus on the lung meridians. Either way, we are deeply stimulating through the stomach meridians here, or meridian rather. Allow yourself to breathe just as deeply in this pose, even though the tummy is being stretched. We still want to balloon the belly forwards and up, and completely release it down. Each meridian is thought to relate to different emotions, different parts of the psyche too. And the stomach meridian is often correlated to overthinking. So it's normal if your mind is still wandering, it's absolutely fine. Sometimes when we practice yin, it simply shines a light on what we hold, what we currently have going on. When we're on the mat, we don't need to change anything, we don't need to do anything. We just allow ourselves to be here and observe, to exist. thought that when we have a lack of harmony in any of the meridians, it can show up as lack or excess of specific emotions. For example, you might have excess anxiety, overthinking, or not thinking enough. You might not be able to tap into joy. And what we're looking for from our yin practice isn't to feel only the good emotions all the time. It's simply to allow ourselves to have that energy flowing freely through our whole body so that we can experience the full range of emotion. Coming back to an equilibrium or a harmonious point down the middle, allowing yourself to feel peacefulness most of the time, to allow and experience the full range of the human experience. And when you're on the mat, we're able to observe exactly where we're at, free from judgment, free from shame. You're just the observer, separate from the emotions, separate from the thoughts, separate from the body, just consciousness. When you're feeling ready, we draw the knees back towards one another. We're going to come into Savasana just for a few minutes. So we peel up through the spine. We move our bolster away. We drop our arms down by our side. And we allow a complete heaviness through the back body. The front body is light. We breathe deeply into the belly. We allow an expansion through the chest and the diaphragm. Every exhale melts the back body down. Every inhale makes the front body feel lighter. When you're feeling ready, slowly begin to bring movement into your fingers and into your toes, into your legs. And make your way onto one side. Gradually make your way up into a seated position. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.